I'll just, yeah.
Good.
So maybe we just do this a little informal. I didn't really know what I was up against, and this is kind of a general educational presentation. Like I said, I'm Donato, fairly Sebastian. And this is my family's business, Society. We build air structures. The simplest way to put it, again, you guys know, you've been here, right? Structure plated by air, membrane covered. Our factory is actually in upstate New York, so our offices are in Purchase, on King Street, like you were just talking about. And we manufacture everything in upstate, which is nice. Obviously, why to build the air structure as you guys go through your master plan. You can go down whatever roads you want to go down. Most roads lead to the obvious. To build conventional construction today is extremely expensive. If you're gonna build any type of construction, it's at least 3 to 4x typically what an air structure costs. It's a huge part of why we are in business, because there is nothing that you can build at scale size at a cost that we can build. Also, from a timeline perspective, nobody can build stuff as fast as us because we remanufacture everything offsite. So you don't have a ton of trades rolling through as you're building these things. We fabricate the envelope, it gets spread out like a giant pool tarp essentially, and then we pump air to it and we inflate it. It's a lot more complex to that, but it makes project timelines much more reasonable. Instead of 3 or 4 years, they're built in a year. And for sports, you have the clear spanability, no walls and columns to support stuff. So obviously, again, you guys know this from the tennis domes. Can be permanent. A huge majority of my business has become permanent. We probably, there's a lot of guys who you guys keep bringing up bubbles. We call them air structures. Bubbles fall down. The seasonal stuff, again, all air structures should be put up and taken down, but on these larger structures, it's definitely a work to put them up and down. And most people now want air conditioned space. The shoulder seasons are getting worse. It's really freaking cold in March, and then sometimes really, really hot still in October, or it could be really cold in October. So our seasons are so sporadic. If you're going to run camps and things, to have the indoor space, even in the summer, nicer months, is a huge asset to have. And again, we're going to talk sports today, so we do a bunch of other stuff, industrial, but the sports, if you just go back one slide, Sebastian. I mean, these are really incredible multi-million-dollar facilities. For like Mamba Academy was going to run in that one. That's a college. The other one's a college. I mean, you can see the city in Highland Park in Chicago. Did some really incredible pickleball courts. So these can be as nice as conventional construction, but affordable for someone to build, and you get the same result, right?
I just gotta ask you, the lighting, if you go with the lighting in the middle, is that lights or that's just
Natural
daylight?
skylight. That's daylight
And
in.
then what happens at night?
It's just black. It's like a skylight in your house.
But they can be lit though.
Correct. So the dome is lit there, so you see all the individual lights on, but in the daytime you get the extra brightness through it. And at night you don't. The whole dome is not lit up like a glowing
Yeah.
orb. It's just the little roof piece. And again, additional uses. You guys want turf inside of yours. Some of you, guys know my family. They've been doing this 60+ years. I have a pretty incredible 27-pound session. It's 25+. Yeah, I guess you covered yourself. We've been doing this a long time. Exactly. The business is growing like crazy. The product acceptance and the product use is growing like crazy. In a lot of places you go, they need this, right? Like the D3 schools didn't used to offer facilities. Now students demand having that rec space if they're going to go to a university, and the universities, reasonably like yourselves, don't want to spend 30, 40, $50 million on that rec space, nor do they have it. But yeah, we have a deep, rich history of doing this. We do some really incredible things. Built 80-pound ground stolos. Again, air structure versus bubble. We'll talk about some of that. We just put up the world's largest sports dome. It's 200,000 square feet in Springfield, Illinois. I've had customers.
What's in there?
A variety. They have courts, like hard courts in there. They have multiple fields in there under. I think they have like 2 physical soccer fields under the dome plus a bunch of hard courts.
Yeah, the whole facility is actually on our YouTube channel. So most of the facilities that you'll see on our presentation today, you can go on the YouTube channel and see these. And
Yeah.
we have more pictures in here too for it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of glamour shots. And again, a lot of these, when you think about, whether you lease it out, kind of like your situation now, or you run it as the town. In there, that Springfield Clinic, that's the big hospital there for them, and they took out 3 or 4,000, no, 20 or 30,000 square feet of space within that facility. So they sublease that from the owner. A lot of ideas on how you can operate your own space. Go to White Plains Hospital, maybe they want orthopedic space in there. And even some of the build out of the front building is built for that Springfield Clinic. So you can do this kind of mix of conventional construction with the air structure, get some really big tenants to come in and kind of help fund this for you. And yeah, again, the crazy wind loads in Miami, Florida to the world's biggest structure that's 500,000 square feet. So we've done just about it all.
So like 80-pound ground snag, how much snow would that need to crush that thing?
80-pound ground snow is like up to the ceiling.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there?
You don't have to worry about that here. That's like Maine, like Bangor, Maine. It's terrible up there. Really, a lot of really cool clients. We did Penn State this year, which we were pretty stoked about. But you see a lot of universities, some, pro teams and whatnot. We have a really good portfolio. What you guys kind of want to know about the cost? My cost is about 25 to 30 square foot. The balance of the cost though is about, the foundational work, the electrical work. So you end up at about a $60 to $70 build all in, okay?
Per square foot.
Per square foot. So simple math, 100,000 square foot facility, which is larger. It's like a soccer field and a half. You're going to be like 7 million. So a lot of places we go, there's a happy medium. They built 40 or 50,000 square feet. They're $3 to $4 million in. What's nice about you guys is you don't need any improvements. You already have the parking lots, right? You already have all the water like runoff. Your utility is here. So all of the other things, land acquisition that a normal buyer has on top of that shell cost, and we'll call it the shell cost. The shell cost being, again, the dome, the foundations, the electrical, the turf, and a little bit of contingency money. You already own all that here. So it's a pretty fixed price situation for you guys. And then what you want to do on an ancillary building, I would take the same mentality. I'd either put some space inside the dome or a very simple pre-engineered metal building that is like an erector set together that is very simple, very cost effective. Maybe 3,000 to 5,000 square feet that you put right in front of it. It does make a nice blend. So anyway, I know
I can play to it, yeah.
If not, we keep going. I can. Oh, here we go.
There's examples of some clubhouse buildings.
That for you guys, I think is a great type of
Hybrid,
setup.
it's like a hybrid model, right?
Correct. You have someone controlling everyone who's entering and leaving. But you can charge a $5 fee for use of the space. You'd be amazed how fast the $5, or whatever it is, $10. If you're running this as the town, right? Rather than, listen, I'd love to put my offices in there and operate the business and have a place to show everybody like 2 minutes away from me. We used to have it here, obviously. But I think this would be a great setup. It's the most cost-effective setup for you guys, and it would just be a great asset for the town, honestly.
And what do people put in that structure?
They have their person checking people in. They have their bathrooms in there. Some people put a little food service. But you don't want to, again, get too fancy with it. You just want to serve its purpose of, you see a little bit of food service, bathrooms on the right. You see the corner of the front desk.
Sure.
You're just monitoring all that traffic.
Or like a community room maybe in there, that's another.
Yeah, you can put some community rooms in there. But I wouldn't build, a 20,000 square foot building. Build it to 5,000, something very manageable. And it can be phased, meaning we could build a dome knowing that's what's going to happen in the future, so that, okay, you got your 3.5, 4, 5 million, whatever it is, you have that, okay, we'll stop there. 3 years, we'll fundraise and we'll get the rest of this. We'll take it in a different bucket of money or whenever that money is ready. It can just attach right to the doors. So Yeah, we'll try to help you guys figure out how to plan this in a reasonable way for yourselves. Can you go back to the original? A little too fun. So, the general,
So you wanna-
no, I want to talk about this, because it.
Yeah.
I know you guys are here because you guys want to actually do something, so to do anything, right, besides having this meeting and then sending this out in a link. We gotta get your architects to just, because I think the easiest way to convey a plan is get the architects to just drop it on the site plan, right? Like, hey, here's what we can do, so that people have kind of an idea and a direction. We can work with the architect, give them a couple little simple things. I don't charge any money to do that. Like, my success is your success at the end of the day. So we get them to drop this on a site plan, so when we go to the town in a formal way, right, or in a bigger board meeting, have something to show them, right? From there, right, you probably have some other guys you've worked with in the past. I can give them a set of sample plans. They can put all the costs to it. My 60 to 70 is an estimate, like it might be 55. So if you kind of come up with a general ballpark, I can give some example projects, right? These are the steps we kind of do it. And that's the family, the owner, which would be you guys, us, the architect and the general contractor. We can kind of walk through site schematic and high level costing all the way down through the point where you put this thing out for bid. But it doesn't go anywhere if you don't do that first step of laying it on a site plan, figuring out what the appetite is cost wise, and then backing that up with a contractor who really puts some pen to paper. This is my shop, it's part of my shop, the other half's on the other side. So you guys understand the process. I go to work in my factory, building the fabric, putting together the cables outside, while the site contractor's pouring the foundations like you see there and prepping that site. There are long lead items, but you're only site mobilized, you'll be site mobilized from one late spring through in early fall. A lot of the long lead items are switch gear, things like that are being made off site. For me, it's generators and heaters. So you're not disturbing the site for a whole year. You might be disturbing it from 4 to 6 months.
You put all this on a truck and ship it.
Ship it down. I mean, that picture there, that's like half of Rutgers building. Those 1, 2, 3, 4. Those white bundles are like half of 100,000 square foot building, which is crazy.
Then you roll it out on site.
Roll it out on site. Exactly. And that's the next slide here. So we get to the site, it's finished, turf's down, whatever's down. Literally comes and rolls like that. Crew of 20 or 30 guys spreads it out. All the way across the field. We attach the sections because it comes in, 6 or 8 sections. Probably for something like you're doing. Put the cable over the top in the same manner. It's all prefabricated. Blow it up, go inside, hang lights. You're playing in there in 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the size of the structure. So very fast work once you get there. It's a kind of an oh my god moment from the time they start spreading out the fabric through it's up, because it kind of just shows up overnight. Again, the family. This presentation is good for people who don't know us. We're not going anywhere. I mean, my grandfather's been doing this since he was younger than
I
me.
think this picture is at Enzo's. Right down the
That
street.
is at Enzo's, We had one of our Christmas parties there. But yeah, we're around, we're local, we're the only local air structure supplier.
Well, your grandfather lived in this community for 50 years.
50 years,
He was
100%.
Born here, raised here, loves the surrounding.
He loves, man, he even have a bench from the Friolis out there already. So maybe you can
Carlo
donate
vouches
this.
for you then.
We're good. No, so
This is a no-brainer.
we hope so. I mean, I'd love to have this in the backyard here, whether, again, it was privately done in some type of a manner, or whether it was, publicly done and owned, and I could just bring people here to show them. I just redid Armox structures, and I brought a customer over there today. Nothing better than that. Drive 5 minutes from the office. Here's a couple.
I've also done other surrounding communities as well.
What's that?
You've also done other surrounding communities in
Yeah,
Westchester as well.
Yeah, so the Armonk facility we just did this year. So, and they had our first set of domes 20 years before that. So, yeah, I mean, we do this for little communities up in Canada.
And everything is this diamond pattern, right?
Everything's the diamond pattern, which is called the full bias cable net. That's what kind of gives it its structural rigidity. I'm not gonna bore you through all of the nitty gritty, but what makes a dome versus an air structure? We can show this, like,
You wanna go back,
just show them the cable out.
you just go to cable?
Yeah, and then we can talk back to. We'll go back one slide from that though, so they can see.
Yep.
So out there you have low, I think you have the middle one, you have low bias out there, if I remember correctly. There's three types of cable systems, we invented them all. What brings something from a bubble to an air structure is structural rigidity, okay? So how do you get structural rigidity? Well, fabric is, and the idea my grandfather had came from hot air balloons. How do you take really lightweight fabric and apply load to them? Well, low loads on small domes, you don't need to put any cables over. But as the domes grew larger, for example, this dome at Utica is 135,000 square feet. The way you take the stress off the fabric is you put cables evenly over the whole thing, like a hairnet essentially. That allows you to then inflate the fabric into the cables, give a complete load transfer, and then those cables take the load down to the foundation. The fabric is the same fabric I use on a 50,000 square foot dome is on the 500,000 square foot dome. Why? My cables are typically around 8 feet apart. The fabric only thinks it's part of an 8x8 grid. It has no idea the larger system it's a part of, because once it inflates into it, it makes like a little mini dome if you like look really close. And that's the stress it feels. It feels that grid size. Whereas the other methods, right? And the first picture of a coaxial is the same on the right of the full bias, it's the same site. We told them it was gonna last 9 months, it only lasted 9 months. And they came back to us and we rebuilt it, and it's lasted 9 years now with no problem. I didn't build it the first time, my competitor did, who went in there really cheap.
And what do you think we have?
You have the middle
Double
one.
bias?
Yeah, you used to have, when my grandfather was on the facility, the full bias cable net. But you guys have the middle system right now. Look, technology's changed a lot. Things go beyond the cable net. The cable net's your structural like skeleton. Then we have the brains we put into them now. I don't know if that is the next slide, Sebastian.
It's just about the
Yeah,
connections.
we skip through that for a sec. So the HVAC system is like kind of the second part of what is so important for these facilities. They have very intelligent brains. Everything's on your phone, automated alerts. A fan goes down, you get an alarm. A filter's clogged, you get an alarm. Pressure goes down, you get an alarm. Backup fan goes on, generator goes on. Wind is high, it automatically goes to elevated pressure. Snow is falling, it goes to automatically to high pressures. So we've done all these innovations on, besides the structure being physically strong, having the brains to respond without human error, which is really another important thing we do. And on top of that, we really try to put a lot of redundancy into these systems. I try to put 2 generators on everything. I try to put 2 blowers on everything. People achieve the cost savings from an air structure, but I try to explain to them, don't take that cost savings and kind of over beat down on that. Because if you skimp on an air structure, you get a bubble and you get in trouble. No matter if I build it, the next guy built it, it's all the same thing. It's not like grandma's secret sauce. Like it's just simple probability of stuff. So we try to double up on everything from a mechanical system standpoint and whatnot. I don't think we need to talk too much more about kind of the individual components of it.
Just a quick question. So regarding generators, we're clearly in a flood zone area. You just elevate them or?
Yeah, actually the ones in our bunker in a flood, not that it's a flood zone like this, but like they're in a flood zone by paper. And so everything is just lifted up off the pad, which isn't bad. And I guess, probably recording this, if someone's watching and cares, the next slide is a little bit about the energy efficiency of the systems. Right now you have, I believe, an R4 system out there because it comes up and down, but if it's a permanent dome, we can put insulation into it, get it up to R12. And these things are actually fairly energy efficient structures, even though the R value is lower. And again, technically, I'm an engineer, but there's less surface area, meaning even though you have a lower R value, you have less heat being lost through the envelope of it. So it actually almost maps out to with a building like this, which is pretty cool.
What sort of upkeep does it need?
Very simple. Obviously, when it snows, you gotta plow around it. Down here, 3-4 times a year I get snow. It's not like the upstate regions. So you need the plow service around it for sure. I treat it just like a commercial building, or how you should treat a commercial building, how I treat my own house, maybe because I'm in this business. You have to have someone come, on a dome, I like them 4 times, at my house, I have them come 2 times a year, spring and fall. I like 4 times a year, every 3 months, they come, they oil, grease, grease all the bearings, if you have belts, they change belts. Just an HVAC tech checking out the units, you should be doing that, I know in the grand scheme of things, you guys have tons of buildings and. That doesn't always work, but for the dome, that's super important because that's the heartbeat of the facility.
This is just a quick video showing you how they plow around the perimeter, they just have a team out there with plows. You want a nice clean path around the perimeter, make that super simple for your
Okay.
maintenance.
But the maintenance that you just said, that's for the HVAC, but that's also the maintenance for the entire dome? Or is there
the dome-
more to
the
be done?
dome- No, really, the dome itself is, lack of better words, a large plastic tarp, right? So short of someone cutting it, there's not much maintenance to do on the dome itself. It's keeping up the mechanical equipment. That's important, and raising pressure when you get bad weather. We have a quarterly maintenance report every 3 months. You fill it out, you send it to me, you walk around and, look, I can't fix silly, okay? So, but have your guy who's running this facility walk around every day. If you notice there's a 15-foot gash that you can't put in the night before, call me. We'll send someone down to patch it. But no, really, there's not many moving parts. It's not like a building like this where there's pipes running through the wall and light bulbs, like all those fixtures are fixtures. They're meant to last 15 years. So once they're up, they should be
The ones in there hanging from the ceiling, is that how these work too?
hanging from the ceiling, but fixtures, no bulbs.
Mhm.
So they go until they die.
They don't look like that for some reason. though.
No, they have the Horizon has the T5 like
Yeah,
bays with
this
2
looks
attachments.
like a better light, but I don't know.
It's a really good light. Look, I got him in the Arizona Cardinals. I got him in the Tennessee Titans. I got him in Penn State. I got him in all, like some really super high end facilities. That I retro. These are, well, the Cardinals isn't even my dome. They're my competitor's dome, and they asked me to come in and take over service and change out all the lights because they like the system so much. So, yeah, I mean, from a lighting perspective, they're really good. You'll be sad. Trust me. If these guys are satisfied, you'll be satisfied.
If there is a gash, the tent doesn't just blow air.
Correct. And a big part of that is because you have that cable net and the fabric is not yanking all day. It's very relaxed under that cable. So the tears don't propagate. Utica, for example, bunch of drunk college kids, 50 feet, stop 5 feet when they did about 125 feet. Utica's an hour from my factory. The guy called my guys. I sent one out. By the end of the day, it was all repaired. The dome didn't go down at all. It stayed up. There's plenty of excess air in these things. So we have about a 3-to-1 ratio just with the primary blower, and the backup blower kicks on. I have about 4 times as much air needed to keep this up in this facility. So you can lose a lot of air before you have a problem. Hence, you can open a door and the dome doesn't just
Right,
collapse.
Right.
Correct.
Now, like speaking of opening door, when like in Brewster, it's gone now, but he was a spinner.
Revolving.
Is that how that's is too?
100%. So the revolving door is how you move the most amount of people in. We have a personal air knock next to it for handicap access. Emergency doors to meet code, and then we have vehicle entrance doors, which are the bottom left. When you need to, let's say you're having a concert in there or a carnival in there, like
Yeah.
these facilities too for the community. Like the Danbury Sports Dome throws a man show, a cook-off of some sort over the winter, a carnival, a boat show. If you plan ahead, and these are like super huge revenue drivers for them, because where in town do you have a large clear span space to do a trade show? Probably nowhere, right? I mean, you throw a boat show in there, they make loads and loads of money on that, on the 2 domes that do that. That's a very high value show for them every year as an expo.
Yeah, and we're on the water.
Exactly. There's a lot of, you gotta think outside of it just being a little soccer field for someone, like in a congested area like this, there's no giant clear span spaces. You got the Westchester, center, but that's really it besides that. So. We could do fancy stuff. I would love it for you. I wouldn't recommend it if you're trying to save money. These people want them to be fancy, so they want them to sit in their office and look down into the building.
I like that.
I do too. We'll add an extra 100 grand just for you. to
Or
have
like
your
a viewing
office here.
space for parent, whatever.
No, it's beautiful. It really, there's ways, the top left is a non-cost effective way. The bottom left and right, which are the same buildings, are cost effective ways. Single story brick buildings. The top left one is like a tied back steel building. I mean, that was millions and millions for them, whereas the bottom is kind of like a brick building that's one story. There's not a lot of loads on it. That's a very manageable way to do it. And it is nice.
So my question is like, this is such a different space, like I've lived here my whole life too, in Westchester, in Mamaroneck, and like the aesthetic of what that is for me is different than, my kids all played sports, I've gone to all these ones, down in the dome, down in Mount Vernon, that's gross, like I've seen all this stuff.
Yeah.
They're not surrounded by this beautiful landscape, so my
100%.
concern becomes, if we make it a permanent structure, right, or semi-permanent, or whatever you're saying, we don't take it down. What are we looking at for a view? How is that impacting how people feel about this space? I don't mean to play devil's advocate, but I'm going to. And I'm with someone who coaches sports at high school, we don't have enough fields, like I'd love to benefit from this, but even just looking at like what you're showing me there, like, and thinking about these kind of attachments on the back for the heat and all that kind of stuff, like, we are open to a lot of people, we have people here with kids, I just wouldn't want to lose the beauty of what this place is by turning it into something that works in a more like open
Industrial
field
setting.
area, like it's just, that's not what this place is, this is not the places we're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's my concern as someone who loves here, like I don't want to lose that feeling that now this whole centerpiece of this beautiful place is this bubble, or not a bubble, whatever. it is.
So I think that the first thing you gotta do is.
Infrastructure, sorry about that. I'm a teacher, not an engineer. I'm a teacher engineering, I'll let you know right now.
Fair enough. I think the first thing we gotta do is we gotta lay it on the site, like where can we, as best as we can hide
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah.
Number two, we'll fly some balloons up and we'll do a balloon test. Because even if we, let's say we don't do a giant building, we do like a 180, what is it, 60 high? 180, 60 high. You do something like that, the visual impact of the 60-foot high building is not 60 feet like a skyscraper, 60 feet. You see it on a tangent. So when you fly the balloons, you'll see kind of who you're impeding, what you're impeding. Doesn't have to be white, it could be a bunch of different things.
And I'm not the only one who feels that
No,
way, so
no,
I'm
there
just
was,
giving my.
there was talk years ago to put the structure behind the sewage treatment plant. Correct, right, so
That's
you
fine.
can easily, right. No one's gonna
Yeah, no one's gonna argue about that.
understand here dead center. but
Yeah, you know what I'm
Put it
saying.
over there,
Guess that's
and there's a sewer line or something, but I can't remember, it's a sewer line, that was a big issue.
Where is this? That's it.
Is it within the park? here?
Right above
Yeah.
Harbor Island, right,
Where it's
right
at
where your
Ballpark.
mouth is.
Yeah.
That's,
So,
see right behind there. No,
No, where Harbor Island
now you gotta go.
Park soccer
Where
field
the.
is.
okay,
Back in
Yeah.
here, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, right behind that
why
structure,
wouldn't you do it there?
right.
Well, there was the.
There's a sewer.
There's a pipe, right, Jeff?
Is there some?
Jake, There's a pipe, sewerage pipe or something like that,
Well, there is a big.
right, there's a pipe of some kind that goes out.
But I don't
It's a
know.
county pier, it's like a 22 foot something,
Diana?
outflow, yeah, outflow pipe, it's the county outflow pipe,
How deep?
it's pretty deep. Pretty deep,
Yeah.
The question is, can you, when you have a buried pipe, are you allowed to
Can't build
over it?
over it.
Cause I gotta maintain it.
Well, if they have to dig it up, it's a.
If they ever need to get to it, but in all these years have they?
It's infrastructure, it's not like it's.
But some of that is sellable because if we're putting turf over it. You could actually essentially go in there and dig it up if you wanted to, right?
I mean, you're not digging down, you're laying a concrete bed.
well, no, you have to dig down,
Dig
it
down.
goes for the
It'd be
foundation.
about 6
How-
feet down,
Not terribly deep.
no.
But in all these years, have they ever had to dig it up?
No,
And then,
Now that you
No,
said that,
Yeah, I'm
Well,
like,
you know, I mean,
that's never a good.
So that would be the most ideal place, I think the community would buy into, if the county allows you to do it.
so as
Not
I
up to
said
the county,
before,
Wasn't it?
or, I think the easement comes out the side of the county building where the dog park is, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what's gonna be my ask too, where, like, can we build around it, like, can we build a?
So I think the easement comes out right where it says Bark Park.
So you're saying like,
yeah,
I draw a line before you're sitting here.
Yeah, I think the easement comes out there and it goes down that little dirt road, not the first one, the second one on the bottom right hand side. Keep going to the water.
Oh, okay.
Yep, down
The-
there. That's
under
the
that
pier.
pier.
Yeah, but we should be able to shove something up in the corner.
Yeah, you can always, right, you can always split the dome from whatever building you wanna build to.
Yeah,
Run
you
out
could
of
just jump,
space.
you could jump it,
The only problem is like, you almost want the building on the,
but you might. Look, they have to do a full master
Yeah,
plan
they
here of
do.
things. Remember, the parking lot doesn't need to be where the parking lot's gonna be if the master plan changes where the parking
We
lot is.
are
the tennis
in
court's gonna be.
process of doing a master plan.
Yeah. Which
The
will.
only
hopefully-
downfall of that is right where the tennis courts are, there's facility, the power to run, the air handlers,
All there.
the generators, everything is there. The transformers there, underground utilities there.
But if it got everyone happy and it cost you an extra $100,000 to run it from there to there,
Oh, listen, I'm not speaking against it because I'd much rather have that square footage of a dome than where the tennis courts are.
Yeah.
I'd rather take over that whole field and have multiple sports inside of there and then turn the tennis courts into the parking that we lose.
yeah, 100%.
Or more
I mean, you
fields.
can still build something.
It's a massive,
Is there
yeah.
any value in the structure that we own? Anything at all?
You own that or they own that?
We own it. We own the actual bubble. We own the equipment. We own the fencing. We own everything but the LED lights they installed a couple years ago. Is there any value in that? To get rid of it?
How old is it?
It's old.
Probably not.
No. But I figured-
So that would probably be the most ideal spot. If
You have
it's
huge-
if it's doable.
You have huge room, look, you have 300 feet.
Yeah.
And by 240 feet, I saw him snap the line before.
Yeah.
That's like a big soccer dome. That's a 70,000 square foot facility.
It's huge.
Yeah, so that's a lot of room for you guys, even if you stayed away from the sewer, right? Like that's not bad. I would want to jam it there anyway because you're right at your parking lot access.
Yeah, you can put the building right there as a front facade, straight off the parking lot, yeah.
Off the parking lot, or you could put it in front of the entrance as they drive past.
Yeah, either way, like up this sidewalk, you can have it in front here, or yeah, you can have it off the.
How many square feet is that if you close that box?
70,000 almost.
65, 70,000. What's something similar to that?
What it is now.
What is it now?
I don't know, but they can measure the tennis courts right there.
It's just the clay, so.
Just the clay.
It's two, so. Total
it's
square
really
footage will be similar.
120
But I thought we wanted to extend it over the
by
outside.
200, basically.
These guys are smart.
Good shot.
This little timer is.
48,000.
For what it is now?
So
Yeah,
if
roughly
you-
50,000.
What,
Between the two domes, yeah.
what can you, let's assume we put it wherever, what, I mean, I know anything can go in it, but what? Like, we're looking for like a community center for like a Friday, Saturday night, kids can go and shoot hoops or whatever.
So
Yeah.
everyone's gonna fight you for the space because people are gonna want turf and then people are gonna want hard courts with basketball. The thing with the hard court, like, when you put in the hard surface. Can be, that's almost perfect for a 200-meter track. Which then gets them their kids for, what is it, foreplay kids?
Fields for kids.
Fields for
That's
kids,
my group.
okay. That's an NFL organization, right? Or no, am I wrong?
No, it's just, it's basically, they go around and they make improvements to the field, since we have such a little field space, like we just finished taking a dirt space and turning it into turf.
Yeah,
So they
beautiful.
turfed the main field, we did help build one playground, but it's all like privately raised money and
It's a community group.
it's a community group for us.
Look,
Profit.
the turf is great because it gives you so many options from a turf, right? Soccer, lacrosse, a million different things. As far as the community space. Older folks, so they can walk. If you did a 200-meter track in the center of it, and I have the video, I have one edit to make on it, but I'm gonna send it to you guys.
Utica too.
But I'm thinking, yeah,
You're thinking
Utica's-
Tom's River.
yeah, I'm thinking Tom's River.
Yeah,
But yeah, basically this is a 300-meter track, but basically in the center, you could have basketball, volleyball, right? Cause all these courts are multi-lineable, basketball, volleyball, tennis, pickleball. So it gives you a lot of opportunity.
Where's soccer go?
Well, that's the
That's the
problem.
turf.
You-
That's-
You need
and-
soccer, it's.
So
right.
one,
Social cross.
A
They go
place
cross,
that-
there's nowhere to go.
a
They'll
place
take
we used to
thousands
go to
of
for
people.
field hockey had the, like, the court is the floor. And whenever they needed turf, they would roll out the turf. Can you do that?
If you're comfortable, I think to get quality.
It almost might be smarter. In that facility you're talking, it's like traditional construction, like a regular building in there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like a hardwood.
I don't know if it's spooky enough in Pennsylvania. It's a building.
Oh, okay.
It's not a dome.
They
But it's like hardwood on the floor.
Yeah.
So the thing with an air structure, you're always gonna have synthetic flooring. So what I would recommend instead is you put the turf in first
The floor.
and then you put the floor over top.
Manhattan built up that.
Right, so what-
And then they pull it out.
That's what they would do.
Yeah.
It's all snapped together.
That's what they would do
Like the,
for,
like the garden. or like
Yeah.
underneath.
Well,
Right.
well, what's that picture in the middle? You have a hard court and then you have a turf.
not a ton of hardcore though.
Yeah, but
It's synthetic flooring still though. It's not hardwood.
Well, it's-
Hardwood.
But he's saying it's permanently, it's permanently.
That one's
there,
been
yeah.
permanently installed. Yeah, that's why I brought this one up.
But if you
because-
do it that you can change it to what you need.
Yeah.
I think that's better.
Yeah, if you do the full thing turf,
we also don't have a crew that can take the tiles.
Maybe you do half and
That's
half.
what I'm saying.
Maybe you drop the track idea, you do
Well,
half
they
and
used
half.
to do that at the rink.
Yeah, but.
I mean, even here, a basketball court for kids to.
how many square feet is that middle one?
like this, so this is one building. It's 130,000 square
Oh.
feet in the city of Detroit.
Okay.
So yours would be like roughly half this.
Right,
Okay,
But you don't have to do a full pitch field. And what they did, so this was actually an existing football field in the park. They put a track around it, they added, the basketball court and some, you see in the bottom left picture, they did some rooms and offices on the inside. They were kind of crunched for space. We'd recommend that you move that into an exterior clubhouse.
Mhm.
But you don't necessarily have to have the full turf field. And I know for soccer, it's not so much about the length when it comes to practice and quality play. It's more about having the width. When you're talking about indoor training in the winter, this isn't, an MLS.
I don't think we need a full.
I think
No.
Ben said that they're not.
Well,
playing.
when soccer does indoor in the winter, then if they have like games, it's cross field with like 5-on-5, 6.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think,
They
I
break
think
it up.
lacrosse would do the same. I mean.
But I think a
lacrosse would
track
do-
is huge, not just for the school, but for the senior population, it's big.
City of Detroit, when I went out there to visit them after we completed the project, they have so many walking areas through the park. It was that was like their number one like happiness was
I think-
that
right.
people had a place to walk in the winter.
Well, remember, we don't do a track that takes a ton of space, we do like a Danbury track where the edges are square.
Yeah, that's how this one is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. It doesn't have to be competition. It doesn't have to, you're not gonna be holding, track meets in
Could
here.
be suspended from.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Oh, elevated? No, you're gonna get way out of hand with cars.
No one's asked you to spend something around.
No, not yet, not yet, could be the first.
I'm just curious, like an observatory or whatever you see.
we're also going off,
You see the
we're also going off a quick
It'd be
measurement.
interesting to see the different price points, because if like Fields for Kids did get involved and you had money coming from different places just to see what it would be. You know what I mean?
That's why it's great to bring in the architect early on. Because some of the stuff we were talking about earlier with like where that sewer line is, like how do we, what dimensions can we build in here? How do we make this work for everyone? Like,
See, I think
You
in
can-
Kristen's case, that will be an issue, aesthetics is gonna be a big problem. But if you have this hybrid structure where
Mm.
it's all glass and you see in and you see out and you're seeing views of the water, and then it could feel differently,
Yeah,
right? But
I-
that's up to an architect to
Yeah, no, I
figure
get
that out.
that. I
And
just think,
especially landscaping,
if it becomes a monstrosity, people will not like that.
hence why
But
it
if
comes
You won't
down,
you won't be able to sell it.
hence why we think it down now or something.
Right, I know, but this just seems to be more.
I-
You're basically
like
saying it's better to have it.
Yeah.
permanent.
I would like to, it's,
But is the idea to use it to make money? I guess here's the other question. We have to decide like what lane we're in. I know we kind of run hybrid around a lot, but like. If the lane is, we're gonna build this thing and we wanna get some money back out of it, then, knowing, because know a lot about all these sports, like. We're gonna get a lot more out of people renting the turf.
yes.
Although having a basketball court is lovely, we do use Rhinebeck, Mamaroneck schools, like.
Yeah, well, and
There's basketball
and
courts
it
in
doesn't
the
make as
schools
much
that they
money.
use for youth and all that, and they don't even make as much, so. I also think we need to keep that in mind, like where we're like, are we doing it to make some money and some space? Are we primarily looking to pay ourselves back a little bit at a time? I don't know. I think these are things we have to think about, because if you go all in on it being like a basketball court and just a little bit of turf and a little bit of this, like, what can we get out of that? What are we renting? What are we getting out of that?
Well, do the schools open the gyms like on a Friday night?
Yeah, well, Homix typically, unless there's a
Yeah.
dance,
You-
has an open gym
Okay.
for basketball. And all I know is that LMBA, obviously, you could probably, we all can speak to that. They use
The
the,
schools charge them a lot.
yeah, they do. So I don't know, again, like how many courts you'd even get out of, I don't know.
I
like,
mean, it
these are
doesn't
things
have to
you
be,
wouldn't
I
know.
mean, kids would come and kick a soccer ball around the road,
Absolutely.
whatever.
If there's like
Well,
a
you
snack.
have
bar.
open hours,
Doesn't
yeah,
have to be basketball.
right, you know, memberships,
Okay.
non-memberships, there's a lot of ways to do this.
I mean, if you had, as you guys mentioned, some kind of snack thing, like I taught middle school, now I'm at the high school, but 20 years in education, like middle school kids, 6th, 7th graders have nothing to do, right? So they come down here, if you have a snack bar,
Mhm.
like now, and you got music going, now you got someplace for them to be like, we're gonna go down and meet at the harbor.
Right.
Like that works.
And then if it's open gym hours, they can play
Exactly.
sports, do whatever.
Right. And so that's,
Well,
that's a
hopefully
bonus.
this-
you know?
You could do movie nights in there, blow up the screen, like there's a million things we could
I
do.
think it would help sell it, if it's community oriented.
That's what I'm
Correct.
saying,
To the
versus-
kids and.
Correct.
Let's
I
go
think
from
there's
the
a-
young to the old.
I don't think we have to worry about the uses. I think we have to focus on the space because
Yeah,
we know
right.
that we want to
Way
get
out.
every use possible in for every sport that we can. And if we can't get it, the track is the weak link, then the track's gotta go, right? I mean,
Mhm.
But if we can only do 60,000 square feet behind the treatment plant, then you just say, okay, what are we gonna put in there?
Yeah.
And you go from there.
but I definitely do think we need a hybrid, but just a bubble structure alone is not gonna cut it for us. We
No.
do need.
I think you're looking at a total of 100,000 square feet between
All the other parts.
the outside building and
Which is essentially double what we.
the air structure, because
I think they need it.
if you pull up Google Earth again,
And then camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we build it too
I don't know
small.
if that building will
let's
have to
just
be
say
built
we
as
open it,
attached
we'll be-
building.
you only measure to like where the trees are.
Like the spray
Barely.
ground.
Yeah.
Thank you, like the spray
Yeah, but
ground.
like if you go from there to the end of the
Well,
building,
now it's. Years ago.
You have a
The
lot
size,
of.
Yeah, you,
yeah, like just box that out.
And like, the only thing that comes into play there is like, then what do the costs look like, right?
The real deal.
Keep going to the roadway, keep going,
Oh, you're saying take that whole.
keep going to the roadway.
That's why
that's
you're gonna
huge.
make money back.
Where would you put the baseball
I
team?
think that might be too big.
No, but I'm just saying, you're looking at 135,000 square feet, so there's room.
To make more than.
We're not
Right.
talking 60,000 square feet, so there's room there,
I see what you're saying.
especially with a master plan on redoing the harbor,
And we can,
there's room. And where's the baseball field gonna go? Where the dog park is.
right,
Well,
well, Mike
Mike
Chaparral
baseball
many
field
years
goes in.
ago wanted to put it right there.
That's where the baseball field
Okay.
should go.
And I might even,
Where the
I might
dog
even.
Where the dog park.
Yes.
I'm
that's
sorry.
why Shaq wanted to do it.
Servicing 1,000 kids a weekend is more important than servicing 7.
Oh, I don't
People
like
with
the
a
dog
dog.
park. I think it's ugly.
Yeah,
Don't
dog
get me
park,
wrong.
dog park.
I drive by horror
More-
every
more-
day.
more people walk around the exterior of this harbor with their dog than
Go into.
they go in the dog.
I'm one of those people.
And we can
So-
easily put the baseball field on Rushmore.
You could, I mean, like, so with
Good
the,
call.
with the air structure, you do really want to kind of keep it in like a square rectangular, so if you needed.
Or we can use
relocate
Taylor's
the dog,
Lane.
No, but I'm
you
saying,
can always put it.
I'm saying the back end of that would be the air structure. The front end of that would be the
Conventional.
outside conventional building where you could have community space and indoor hard courts. 1 or 2.
Right.
There's your problem solved.
Where's the better solution? Taylor's Lane.
90,000 square feet there.
Yeah, we can't put a structure there.
So I don't think we should get stuck on,
Yeah, yeah, no.
Yeah, I think with
What
these
goes
details
in-
can be worked on.
And some of that will
part
come
of the
back
master
as
plan.
part of. the
I think we
survey.
need to
That's right.
tell the people who are doing the master plan, listen, we want an air structure here with,
A hybrid building.
take one of your photos
Yeah.
and say, this is what we're looking for and this is the spot we're looking to put it.
Right.
Tell us what you can do.
Is it doable?
Ideally, I'll tell you guys this, ideally is this space, we move our offices out of this space. Right, they go in a 2-story tiered structure, right, offices on top, whatever below. This space can get renovated as one beach rental space, right? Then we
Okay.
have the whole building that we could take over. And it could be a whole building that's rented on top of that. And this alone,
Could you do this as a community room?
same thing, it would be
We would
rental
need to keep
space.
a couple offices down here, but like,
No, what I'm saying, like.
Let's
You
say-
could gut, you could gut a lot
You
of things.
can't,
gotta look,
but you
right.
can't open it up, right? You need.
I don't know,
No,
but,
you can't.
but there's things we could do with
You
this
could
building
make
that we
this-
can't do now because there's
Right.
staff is taking
We're
over.
restricted with space,
Right.
you know as well as I do for all these years. I think behind the sewage treatment plant, get the architects involved, say this is where you want to put it, say 100,000, 120. And then we can scale back, scale up, whatever it may be, let them come, let them talk to these guys, you know, hey, and you go from there. You know, enough of the fluff and enough of the bullshit,
Oh, yeah.
You can say, it.
enough of the bullshit, that's what it comes down to.
build it and they will send.
Right, you know that. How many times? 35 years, Carlo Rocca. Okay? Start,
It's also farther away from the water there.
yeah,
And it doesn't flood.
And
Right.
this is
Well, it
a
high-
very,
high-
this is- more realistic, again, if we were to say, no air structure, we're gonna build from the ground up over here.
this,
50 million,
Yeah. 30 to 50 million, probably.
and whereas an air structure maybe 20 to 30?
No, no,
No,
much
how much?
less. Even if you did the
With
100,000.
the building,
I'll show you.
Even if you did the 100,000 square feet with, I mean, what do you think, like a 5,000 square foot building?
More.
But
Yeah,
then
so
you
you're
also
gonna
have
double.
to add the electrical
That's not
and
very
everything
nice.
that you don't have there.
So
yeah, I don't wanna underplay the importance.
let's
of
say the
structure.
conventional,
Because
the
structure.
dome itself is, we'll throw $10 on top of my $10. Let's say that's 8 million to build it out, everything, right? You build a conventional building at 400 square foot, if you're building pretty nice, times
10,000 square feet.
yeah, so you 12 million. To have a double story conventional building.
That's realistic.
That you're paying off in 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, you can rent the space.
It's very realistic.
right.
You're
Return
saying
on
12
investment,
million
great.
air structure.
No, and
No,
conventional.
and the conventional
But
building, the whole
not-
thing.
Not it's 400 a square foot for a big permanent.
Yeah, the big permanent, so if you did a small permanent, when I say big, small permanent building of 10,000 square feet, that's a monster of a building still.
And
Think
that
about
could
how-
still be in a.
That's 2
that could be
basketball
a
courts, I think.
metal.
Soccer would
Yeah,
be
something like
losing
that.
what, 2 of the outdoor fields? then?
What?
Soccer would be losing 2 of the outdoor fields?
No, not, yes, but
They're gaining.
they're gaining
And winter space.
winter space
Yeah, no,
and
no.
possibly
One and more.
Year round.
if the master plan comes back where there's other space in the harbor.
And,
Rushmore Avenue.
and evening. For
Yeah, oh,
space,
yeah. no,
right.
And
no,
rain.
it's- yeah.
But yet they will.
And rain.
Something, it's impossible.
And if you did
Having summer,
an
like we've been
expo, what do you put, does it go on the turf?
That you
Or-
bring in a company and they, like, when you do the expo, sometimes you direct solicit it, or there's companies that bring them in, like the boat show, sometimes. Companies host that,
Mhm.
right? So
So
you're just
you're
renting
just
them the
selling it.
space.
You rent to event.
You let them bring in all the flooring to cover the turf and protect it and charge them if they screw anything
So
up.
it's like October, what's that? what was that?
But if we're having, if this is a village ran building. And we're having multi-sport, or if we can, we're not gonna cover the soccer field with basketball court. We're not gonna hire a company to come in and do that every week.
No, not every, but let's say they do a boat show, like a big banger over the.
Oh, you're talking boat
Yeah.
shows. Oh, I thought you
But
were.
we do a lot of
Like an
community events,
expo.
like if we do Christmas in there, like, what do? Shit's all over the turf, you're gonna have to protect the turf somehow,
That's different than a boat
so
show.
we would have to figure out that.
That's different than a boat show.
Yeah, I was saying if we wanted to lease it, rent it out to somebody that they come in and they do the whole thing, clean it up and get the hell out of here, and we charge them whatever.
Yeah, but if we were to do Christmas in there, it's turf. It's not, we don't have open flame, we don't
You
have,
can clean it and.
yeah, it's not.
So let's start having a dialogue, a real dialogue. Between who's ever doing the master plan and these folks, they can pick their brains, they're well-versed around the world, they've been around forever. Not only do they do universities and pros, they also have done work for federal, state, okay, government as
100%.
well, right?
She worked for you.
Gotta get them on the payroll,
I mean, you guys do stuff with the federal government, state government,
100%.
you do work with government, so it's
Rob?
important to know, right?
Do you know about Grant?
No.
No.
Well, we can.
Are you done your presentation?
Them up with-
Yeah, we
You
want
wanna-
to be
Yeah, I
exact.
mean, can we? I mean, is
Uh,
that possible? Dan?
You think we could put them in touch with BBS?
Dan,
at some
You
point?
wanna end Zoom?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
All right, are we done? We're gonna end,
Yeah,
close the meeting?
Yeah, close the meeting.
Yes, we can hook them up with BPS, absolutely.
Thank you.